goes up must come down.
Weekends in the morning, The Warren Pierce Show, 760 WJR.
Kind of like Dan Casey's theme song, watching the market. Everybody's watching that. Wall Street really starting to sweat this presidential election. When it comes to politics, investors, I'm sure, Dan, you would agree here, there is no shortage of things to worry about as Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump hit the home stretch this weekend in the race for the White House. The worry list includes hard to trust, too close to call polls, election headlines that read like police blotters, FBI investigations, a sexual groping scandal, fears of post-vote violence, a U.S.-style Brexit moment, a new president, a large swath of Americans not taking back anything. And you've been watching because I read your information, too, about those retiring and about to retire. You look at what's been going on. 9 straight days now, the stock market has gone down. It's the worst since 1980. Do you figure this is because there's so much uncertainty as a result of the presidential election?
Yeah, it's hard to figure out if they don't like the fact that Trump is uncertain and he may get in it, or if the Democratic sweeps the Senate and the House and there's no checks and balances and Hillary's able to do whatever she wants. I'm not sure what the market hates more at this point.
And you've been doing this for a couple of decades, and in what you were telling me, you've been interested in the economy since you were 8 or 9 years old?
Yeah, yes, unfortunately. It's been a crazy concern of mine since I was young.
All right, have you seen the statistic? I don't know how accurate this is, but after presidential elections, and we go back to World War II, after a presidential election like on Tuesday, the market tends to go up about 2% because, if nothing else, the uncertainty is now gone.
Yes, and the thing is you have all these statistics that usually it's like 10% the year before, 6% the year of, 2% the year after. But I don't think anything is normal this election period. I don't think I can trust any of these statistics that take averages over the past, 2, 3, 4 decades, whatever it is, because it just seems so different this time that I'm not sure I can trust any of it.
All right, so they're saying, the analysts, and you look at all the different reports, Election Day, Tuesday, could be doomsday or just another day for Wall Street. One story, one angle. If Donald Trump wins on Tuesday, it would be a big surprise, one few investors saw coming. And even Trump says if he pulls the upset, it would equate to the Brexit times 10. Stocks supposedly would likely be sold off if he triumphs. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I would. From the research that I've been going through, it seems like about a 5 to 10% drop would be likely if Trump got in there. So the problem too is, if that happens, and then say in December the Fed then bumps interest rates like everybody thinks that they will, it's just this accumulation of things that could really, at this point, the stock market has been on such a high that I think they're really looking for any excuse to go down, and maybe that 1-2 punch could really do it.
And there was this paper that came out a little while ago from the University of Michigan's Professor Justin Wolfers, who said a decline could be as big as 15% as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Citigroup came out also and said that there's absolutely a possible recession that could happen from this. So it's not. And I think the only thing that I think is a big takeaway from this is that the fear index. And I know you and I had talked about that. How back in China, back in 2015 and Brexit, the fear index spiked and the market went down big. So again, the fear index is spiked huge, right? 40-50% in the last week, but the market has not really come down much. And I know it's been down, 9 consecutive days, but it's weird to me that it's spiked so high yet the market hasn't gone down that much. And it's just, my fear is that the bond market has kind of woke up and finally said, negative rates is just not going to last anymore. And
all right, Dan Casey, hang on, because let's go to now if Hillary Clinton wins on Tuesday and get your take on that after we head off to the Right Now Traffic Center. Dan Casey is on a direct line now talking about the what-ifs after Tuesday. He's been doing this for a couple of decades. He's got his own Bridge River Advisors located out there in Bloomfield Hills. We've mentioned that to you. Deals with those who are retired or about to retire. So let's say, Dan, the scenario is how much financial pain would be inflicted if Hillary Clinton takes the White House and the Democrats retake control of the Senate and the House of Representatives. There are some suggesting that this election, if you will, hat trick for you hockey fans, would enable the Democrats to take fuller control of the legislative process, making it easier for Clinton to push through her less business-friendly platform of higher taxes on the rich and investors.
Yeah, to me, that's even more scary than if Trump got into office, only because for that same reason. There's just no more checks and balances, and she's free to pass her regulations and to raise taxes, and that's just usually not good for the market or the economy. She's talked, about the more regulation on healthcare, and you've seen this year healthcare is just the carnage is a lot like what the banks took in 2008. So a lot of money's pulling out of that because they fear that if she does come in and win everything.
All right, well, more to come to be sure. In the meantime, I'll give out the phone number. If folks want to call Dan, make an appointment, figure out how you can make sure your nest egg, no matter what happens on Tuesday, doesn't just evaporate. 866-TAKE-ACTION for Dan, or 866-TAKE-ACTION online to 866-TAKEACTION.com. Have a good weekend. You running the kids through sports this weekend, too?
Of course, every weekend.
All right, get in the car, drive them around as we head to the top of the hour in the news. Thanks to David and Lori, as usual. We have to go, sadly.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes and the flagship station of the Detroit Lions radio network, WJR, Detroit.